Hi everyone, so today's look is up on toofaced.com at the current time I'm filming this. So it is the Midnight in the Garden of Glamour. It is for the fall collection 2011. It's this really rich, intense purple smoky eye that's very dark with a very nude lip and very pink cheek. So for this look, I'm going to be using the lovely Too Faced Romantic Eye Palette. I don't think this is the kit that they're using for the look. I'm pretty sure it's their newer smoky palette, or maybe even their new matte palette that will be coming out. But nonetheless, there are wonderful colors in here that look just like the depiction. This is a top-selling palette. It's got tons of MAC dupes. So I'm just going to be taking this little guy. It looks a lot like this MAC book that I came up with. I call it the Bridal Book. Go figure, it's kind of got like a similar kind of palette, which was totally unplanned. I made this before the Too Faced Romantic palette, before I'd ever seen this. But yeah, it's kind of got the same idea with an olive, even has an olive browns, neutrals, and some purples in it. So I definitely think that those are quintessential sort of romantic colors. So any sort of sultry romantic colors you have, if you have any of the Wet n Wild color icon palettes that have any of the nudes or the purples in it, go ahead, take those, and let's get started with the look. Alright, so to get started, I've already applied Too Faced Shadow Insurance all over my lid, brow bone, and a little under here as well. I'm going to be taking a little bit of MAC's Paint Pot in Artifact. I rarely like to take discontinued items for the purpose that they are just discontinued. So, but you can take any red base possible that you can find. You can even take like a NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil, a gel liner, and we're just going to go ahead and put that on with a cream shadow brush. This is Sephora's cream shadow brush. It's a synthetic one, number 25, kind of from their like airbrush line. And we're just going to go ahead and pat that all over the lid right on top of Too Faced Shadow Insurance. I don't recommend skipping Too Faced Shadow Insurance. I would always skip the paint pots before the eyelid primer. This is just going to help the eyeshadows pop. It would possibly crease on its own. Now we're going to be blending that out with a couple of colors, a couple soft brown colors, and we're going to take soft brown and Cork, and you can go ahead and take any sort of soft matte brown shades you want, and we're just going to start blending that color out in the outer corner. This is going to prevent the paint pot from going anywhere at this point, and it's also going to give us a little definition. This look definitely has that strong contour. It's not an obvious look. It's very much a colored smoky look that's like, whoa, what is she wearing? I'm just gonna sort of keep that low in the crease, and then just sort of pull in those colors. I'm going to be taking a little bit of Cut the Cake from the Too Faced Romantic Eye Palette. This is just sort of a light lavender, almost with a gray undertone. And we're just going to put our eyeshadow brush in there. It kind of reminds me of MAC's Digit. So that's just going to go into the inner corner. Put on a little more than I would like to appear in the final look, but that will keep it kind of soft and glowy in the meantime. I really like Cut the Cake. I didn't realize it was so lovely. Now we're going to go ahead and take First Dance, which is that sort of medium purple. I'm going to take that same brush and pat it into the outer area. And we're just going to turn the brush upside down and just sort of wiggle it around the socket to sort of blend that, start blending that into the crease. We're not really going to see a ton of brown in the final look. Now I'm going to be taking that 217 and just sort of blending out that purple into the brown. Sorry, my dog wants out. Now you can take any sort of purple or even a black mixed with purple for this particular point. Now I'm going to be taking a little bit of Shadowy Lady by MAC, which is just that really sort of plummy purple. And we're going to wiggle that into the outer crease. And we're just going to sort of do circular motions to avoid an over-the-top harsh crease. We definitely want that crease to be somewhat visible because the picture is. Now we're going to take a little bit I Do, which is sort of just like a gray brown. It's actually much cooler in tone than MAC's Omega, and I'll lift those two up for you. It's much cooler in tone than MAC's Omega, but obviously you can use MAC if you want, but the that one is a lot, heaps more brown than I Do. So we're just going to go ahead and pop that in. I'm just going to start flicking it up. It's very like diffused. There's like really no like obvious crispness from the brow bone to the eyelid. It's all very intense and smoky. Now I'm going to be taking a little bit of Unveil, which is that sort of charcoaly brown, if you will, charcoaly black brown, and we're just going to go into the crease again. This look is really just about layering purples and blending. So whatever purples you have, just pop them all out. You're obviously going to need a few neutrals as well, but this look is just a blended look, so set aside some time for the eyes if you want to recreate this. Now I just popped on a little bit of a Blanc type dupe, which is Bouquet Toss, onto the brow bone, just by pouncing it and sort of blending down those purples. And then I also popped a little bit of Soulmates into the upper brow bone, sort of pull it down even further and give it like that shine that you see in the picture. And then I tightlined and waterlined in Urban Decay's 24/7 liner in 0. I also pulled that underneath the eye. Taking a lip brush, I tapped into Unveil and also smudged that out into the lower lash line. And then I took a little bit of my Stila Stay All Day waterproof liquid liner and lightly went up on the upper lash line, and then put on my mascara, just enough so it's apparent, more heavy on the lower lash line since we're going to be putting on a pair of Kiss lashes in number 5. So that's what I have on here. So we're just going to go ahead, put those on, and be right back. I might be taking a little bit of Too Faced's Beach Bunny Carribean in a compact. I had the Snow Bunny once and I loved it and never rebought it. I don't know why. So I decided to try out the Carribean in a compact since I'm pretty set on highlighters and Snow Bunny's a highlighter. So we're just gonna go ahead and buff that using, this is actually just the e.l.f. stippling brush, and I've marked it very similarly to my MAC brushes. And we're just going to buff that into the contour. We're just going to keep the face bright and glowy since she does sort of have like a gleam going on in her face, and dark smoky eyes could otherwise look kind of muddy if we don't. And I also have the Collection 2000 Light Diffusing Concealer under my eyes as well to sort of brighten up the whole look and keep it pretty and cheerful in a way. I'm going to be taking a little bit of MAC's Pink Swoon, just a pretty hot pinky color. It's like a medium hot pink, and any hot pink blush will do. A lot of brands make a pretty hot pink. So we're just going to put that on with the e.l.f. stippling brush, which is synthetic, so. My dog does that all morning, so. So that's it. She is wearing a lot more blush and face powders in the photo, but I want to keep it a little lighter. Now you really wouldn't want to wear this powder if you're a bride, but I don't think you'd want to wear this look if you're a bride. So I'm just going to go ahead and take a little bit of Cailyn Cosmetics face powder. And we're just going to go ahead and tap that underneath the eye using this Sephora airbrush brush in number 57. Discovered that using it as a highlighter brush is really where I like to take it. It is pretty honey colored, so really only recommend this if you want to create a gleam, or if you've already put on bronzer, or if you're already a tan person. I don't know if they make any color lighter than this, but it's all over me. There it is. Just gonna wipe that all off before we go on. Now we're just gonna smooth on a little bit of MAC Instinct lip liner, or any sort of pink will do. I'm gonna slightly overline my lips as well. And then we're going to take another lip liner and line the actual lip lightly. For those of you wanting to see more natural lip tars, I'm going to show you OCC Lip Tar in Hush. It is known as their Bridal Pink, so really beautiful color. Really soft nudie pink. I wore this actually with a really bright purple look for IMATS 2010. And I'm just going to add a touch of Too Faced's Glamour Gloss in Plush because I don't want to make it too peachy. Okay, so that's all for now. I hope that you enjoyed this lovely Too Faced Midnight in the Garden of Glamour for the fall collection look.